Alright, this is gonna be a short VOD review for Diamond Genji.
Objective unlocks in 30 seconds.
Let's move out.
Let's see how you set up pre-fight. So, let's see how this fight goes here. Playing main here, which is not great. I gotta use the cooldowns to get out because we were playing in front of the tank. So we will deflect and dash. We have neither, and our tank dies. So let's see what we could have done differently in the pre-fight here to set up. Basically spread their angles so they can't just shoot in one direction because that's what Malga wants to do. So instead of playing main here with the tank, they've taken an angle, kind of like how their Reaper's doing, right? So Reaper's here on the right. He has a really good angle here, destroying the queen and shooting you in the back while you're deflecting. And they're already closing the distance on the team because they're just in better positions. So instead of letting them just shoot the entire team in one direction, you force them to shoot at different angles. So what you can do is you can play this high ground up here and contest them from here. Let's rewind a little bit so we can see where you could have set up before the fight started. Because you kind of had the right idea by playing up here, but you give it up super early. Might have gotten eager, but there's nothing like low for you to be going in for any reason. Right. So you hear the Reaper on your left, and he's shooting at you. The left side of your screen is red. So this should kind of tell you like you're out of position right now. Right. This Genji's in front of you. The Malga's here. It's just not a good position to be in. So you need to start thinking about where you need to go next, because you're just gonna get evaporated here. You play here, and you deny this angle from Reaper. That's less damage that your queen's gonna be taking. Or if you're playing up here, you're forcing them to look at you, and they can't just be shooting at your queen for free. And you could probably shoot at their Ana for free. So try and take these angles that are wider and not just like next to your tank, because that's going to get your tank killed and you're going to get no value out of it because you're not putting any pressure on their team by shooting their tank as Genji. You're not playing Reaper, right? So don't play the Reaper angle. It's like, that's what he's doing right now. He's playing pretty close to the tank. He's on an off angle and he's shooting the team for free. But that's not your character, right? You're a flanker. So take those flanking angles over here or up here, right? Don't worry so much about deflecting for your tank or trying to get damage up front. You're not going to get it. You're not really going to get value out of that. So let's see what happens here. All right, you have to use both cooldowns just to survive. And this Malga doesn't even die. Yeah, so let's fast forward a little bit to the next fight, next team fight. So here's where you should be starting to think about setting up, right? You know where the fight's going to be. You can turn around for a second and see how far your tank is. And your tank's already back, actually. So you could have been doing this actually already. So the fight is going to be, you can see the cart through walls, right? The cart is here. By the time your tank gets here, maybe the cart maybe be about here. So the fight is going to be in this space here. This is where the tanks are going to be fighting at this corner, where the Malga is right now. So you can take an angle here. You can deny this from Reaper. And again, you have teammates. They're going to be helping you as long as you're in a position to be helped. So this is a fine angle here to take. You don't have to take this, but it's fine. Or you can play on this angle here, right? This one's okay. It's not the best because you're going to be right behind your tank. So you can kind of think about maybe playing here. The whole point is to not let the entire team just shoot in one direction at your tank. It's just, you're not going to get any value out of it because their supports and their DPS aren't being pressured by you just playing main as Genji. But this is even fine here. And see how the fight unfolds. Something will open up, right? So let's see what happens here. So let's see why you dash here. Let's try and make sense of it. So Reaper's TPing behind you, which is not that big a deal because if you do get low, you can dash out and you do have your deflect. So I don't know if you're running away from Reaper or, let's see. Reaper's TPing behind you onto your soldier. You could fight that because he kind of is out of position here. Or, I mean, I don't see why you would fight this here. I can see why you would shoot at him, but I don't see why you would dash him. He's has armor, right? When Malga has armor, he's practically unkillable because he probably has shout too. So I don't know why he got dashed here, but you dashed the Malga. He slept purple. Your soldier's dead here, but the Malga's purpled, so he is killable now. Okay. Unfortunately, both your soldier and Ana are dead here. So you know that two of your teammates just died, and your decision here is to dash at a Genji Reaper when they're both full HP. You have two teammates that are alive, but they're not over there. So let's try and just be more aware of where your team is when you're making these decisions, and to take these fights, because this, I don't remember what happens here, but I can probably assure you that it's certain death. They don't have a tank right now, even though it's a 3v4. This is still a winnable fight. The most important hero on the team is dead for them. You guys still have a tank. This is actually a winnable fight. Okay, so the Reaper actually trolls by leaving the Genji, because you were a free kill here. You trade here instead, and your tank dies. So let's see what happened to the tank here. Yeah, so what happened was the Reaper left the Genji that you were fighting, and went to go destroy your tank. And your tank dies for it, because you were split. You traded in a fight where you can't trade. You trade, your team loses the fight because you're already outnumbered. So now it becomes even more, the odds are stacked even more against them, because the less people that are involved in the fight, if there's one more person on a certain team, they're going to have the advantage. So a 4v3 is way less likely to win if you have the lesser amount than a 5v4, right? It's easier to win a 5v4 than it is to win a 4v3. So you got to make sure that you're not trading here. You took this fight here when you didn't need to. You could have stayed with your tank, because look at what happens right before you dash at this Genji. Right? Let's look at their team. Who's alive and who's dead on their team? You guys have these. The supports are free. The supports are actually free. Genji and Reaper are basically in spawn, in your team spawn, and the supports here are just defenseless. All they have is to heal each other. So instead of trying to take a 2v1 here, you take this fight here with your team. That's where they're going. You got the Queen and the Juno in here with you, and they're both looking at the supports. You dive the supports here instead of trying to dash the Reaper Genji. You guys probably win this fight. Because now your Juno has to help you, and her attention's over here now, instead of helping the tank, trying to kill the supports. Your tank has no idea that both DPS are behind, and she's hyper focused on killing the supports, but she's by herself, so she can't do it. And now she's getting destroyed by Reaper. You have the power here to like turn this fight completely. So let's see your angle here. See if you fix it here. So your tank is here. You're playing right next to your tank. Let's see how the fight unfolds. You're still playing main right next to your tank. Genji's on your back line, and they're Valking. So he's getting, you gotta know, right? They're using Valk. They're probably not gonna die, especially if you have a hit scan that's getting dove. There's really no pressure on their team, because your teammate hit scan is over here dealing with the Genji, and your backline is trying to help because they're ulting. So you kind of, this is probably a good time to kite here. Let's see what happens. So this is fine. You dash the Genji here, you're trying to help, but now you give up on the Genji and you start shooting main, even though this guy's probably like right behind you. Yeah. So your backline's getting dove here. You know that you're not gonna be able to help your queen here. Like there's a Malga Reaper, Ana, and a Valking Mercy, right? Just try and help with the dive here, because you're not gonna be able to kill anything here. This Genji probably is gonna be the easiest to kill, but at least this fight is probably lost because your hit scan's already dead and they're ulting. But so this isn't like the biggest deal. But I mean, if there's somebody behind you, just shooting your supports, you might want to just try and like help with that, because he's very accessible to you. It's not like he's like across the map. Let's see how your angle is this fight. You're playing main again, right next to your tank. That's like the common theme here, is that you're playing a lot of your angles main when you need to be on a different angle. You need to be in here, right? You shoot the Maga or somebody else from here, but you can't be here. This is not good. You're just standing here main. This is You know, like you're not playing the hit scan where you're gonna be able to like do a significant amount from here. I understand that you're probably setting up for Nano Blade here, but you could do that on a different angle. You could literally be right here, and your Ana's still gonna be able to peek you and see you. Right? You're poking here. Okay, I'm ready to get nanoed. You just peek this door here, and you ask for the nano. But whatever. Let's just say that let's just say that you were waiting for Nano Blade here, and that's why you were here. Let's see if there's an opportunity for you to fight this Genji. He walks right behind you. He walks like right in front of your face and just walks into your team uncontested. All right, so that's a problem. You need to deal with the things that are like out of position before you can worry about like the regular fight. And, like you can Nano Blade Genji, like that's completely fine. Like I know you're setting up here for Nano Blade, but you can just kill him. It's not. There's nothing wrong with doing that. So you hear this Genji just waltzes like right by you. He just walks right next to you and he dashes you and then gets behind to your team and then blades your team for free at like 1 HP. He dies for it, thankfully. Let's go back here. Okay, your Ana misses the nano, but you're still gonna go for blade, which is fine. Probably could have gotten away with just using like a different ult, like maybe like visor or something, instead of because right now they're not using any ults. So you could just use one to like secure the fight rather than using like Nano Blade. But it's fine. Let's see what happens with the blade here. I'm gonna play this in slow motion. Okay, so you go for the Ana here, and she has Mercy Heal, right? So I think you realize that, and you're like, okay, I'm not gonna kill this Ana because she has Mercy Heal, and she needed herself. So those two things together, this Ana's probably not gonna die. Now you go for the Mercy. Dash the Mercy, you have 1 slash, you miss the second, which probably would have killed her. Maybe not, but now you walk into the cage. You pretty much get nothing with that blade. Now, you need to think about these things before you blade and like the cooldowns, because this is there's a simple solution to this that would have actually just made this a massive blade. What can you do here to make sure that you can kill one of these supports? Right? You know that the Ana has Mercy Heal, and you haven't seen Nade, you haven't seen Sleep, so this is probably not who you want to go on. Like, you have Mercy here, right? How can you kill Mercy? Oh, well, she's just going to fly away. Force the Guardian Angel, and she dies. The way that you do that is, you have dash right now. You have dash, and you don't use it. You save it for some reason, and you just blade. What you can do here is, instead, you just dash at the Mercy right here. Force her Guardian Angel, because that's what she's going to do. You dash her, she's going to, while you're blading, or you dash her, she's just going to Guardian Angel no matter what. Like, she's not just going to stay there and like get destroyed. So you dash the Mercy first, blade, force her to Guardian Angel, you get your reset on your dash when you blade, and you dash her again, and you kill her. She's the only killable target here, because Ana's going to be getting Mercy Heal plus Nade. She's not going to die. If Ana can't get Nade on Mercy, which she won't because she's going to be flying away from you, she's not going to live. You're just got to think a little bit more about your target priority on when you're blading, when you're ulting. Think about who can you force cooldowns out of to get kills with your ultimate, because this is not it here. You realize that she's not going to die, but you realize it too late. You got to realize this pre-fight, make that decision to dash the Mercy first, and you kill Mercy for free, and this probably turns into like a 3k blade, because next you kill Mercy, you would have still had deflect. You probably would have deflected onto the Ana and killed Ana, because the Ana has no heal, so you would have just slashed her for free. Granted, I think this fight is going to be won no matter what, but it was way harder than it needed to be. Okay. Let's see what your angle is like here. Also, they kind of engaged early, and you guys took advantage of that and won the fight, so that was good. They kind of trolled that fight, but you guys took advantage of it and capitalized. All right, so This is another one of those things where you use your cooldowns too early, you engage too early, and now you have no cooldowns and you're backing up, and your tank is probably going to get their ass beat right here. And I'm pretty sure you guys are down your Ana. Yeah, I was all the way back here. So let's see. There's ult. Tank dies. Let's kill Naga for it though. Yeah, man, this is good. You're actually set up on a good angle here, right? You have the cover to your left, right here. The bot is here. You don't need to be playing next to your tank for any reason at all. Let's see what happens. Poking Naga, and you just gravitate back here. Your tank is backing up, so I understand. But you don't have to give up this position here. You have both your cooldowns. If something happens where the Genji dashes you, you just dash towards your team here, or dash towards this mega over here, and you'll be fine. You can play this here. Force them to literally shoot at anyone that's not your tank. Like, you have to force them to look at you. Otherwise, you're just not playing the game. Like, they're not worried about you. They need to be worried about you. You should think of it that way. Am I in a position where I'm going to make them look at me, but I'm still safe? This here is fine, right? This is a good angle here. You're not like next to your tank. Like, they're all looking at your tank and you're shooting them. This is good here. This is the kind of angles that I mean. But you give it up, and look what happens because you gave up that angle, right? They're not using any ults or anything. There's no reason for you to be like backing up that much. You backed up you probably got nervous because you saw a whole bunch of them, and your Zarya grabs, and this is where you are, right? Pretty sure you guys win this fight anyway, but your Zarya is half HP. She almost dies here. You secure these kills way faster if you just hold that position there. Luckily, the grab wins that fight. Okay. Now, let's take your angle again. Like, where can you be, right? Like, this is a hard like place to fight here because this is kind of like a shitty angle here, so you can't really play this doorway here. But like, let's just take a look at the map. Like, where can you be playing? Right? You guys won this fight, so you have the opportunity and the advantage to set up before they do, right? So where's like the advantageous position right now on the map? Like, it's gonna be here, right? And this Genji is he's just taking advantage of all of this space over here for free. That should be yours, right? Let's see what happens. Yeah, so this Genji
Your team is close to,
takes that high ground.
your team is close to taking the lead.
Let's look at it from his POV. That's you. He's looking at your whole team for free right now, and he's not being looked at. Your soldier is not looking at him. Should be. Probably just didn't know he was there because the audio is probably not kind of far. So he dashes into your team with no nano. Kills your soldier. Kills your Ana. And now he dies, but the rest of your entire team is also dead. So what could we do differently here? Right.
How did they catch up?
If you're playing here, this Genji can't just do that for free, right? And you have Ana to help you. Right? Your Ana's on cart. She can heal you at height right here. And you deny this from them. Force them to fight here. You can play this safely. You don't have to be playing main here. So
Your team is close to taking the lead.
you're gonna nano blade here. Let's see how like your target priority is here. So you hear the Genji blading. They have no nano. You get nano here and you have nano blade. Now you don't dash the Mercy beforehand again. So she's not gonna be killable. So you go for the Kiri, she TPs, and now you're just stuck with your dick in your hand because there was nobody to kill. So instead, why not just kill the blading Genji that doesn't have nano, right? Because look what that'll do. Your soldier's dead no matter what, right? By the time you get nano, your soldier's dead. You get nano here. If you just think about where everyone is on the map and keep track of where the other team is, you kill this Genji for free. And you win this fight. This Genji is right behind you. And he's already like halfway through his blade. So he's not going to have deflect. Even if he does have dash, you also have dash. You kill him here for free. And then that Curie or Mercy, they're probably going to use cooldowns here to try and turn this fight because their Genji is now dead. You kill this Genji here, your Ana doesn't die. You help your Ana live here, you kill this Genji, and now this fight is even. You lost your soldier, but they lost their Genji. This is an even fight now, and they're either gonna force Kitsune, or they just lose this fight. But instead, your entire team gets smoked by Blade, and you kill one, right? They used one ult and killed the entire team. Your team used two ults and killed one person. And the fight is lost now. You guys actually take the lead here. If you just turn around, kill the blading Genji that's behind. That's like literally right behind you. You kill this Genji here, and the fight is probably won. And if it isn't, you're going to force Curie ult, and you guys either kite, or even if you lose the fight, now they have nothing for next fight. Because now, next fight, they're going to have Cage, they're going to have Rush. The next fight is cooked. Like there's probably no chance that the next fight is winnable.
Your team
So let's see what happens here. So what did I say was going to happen, right? They were going to use ults here. So you try and kite. You kite. Nice. But they charge in, cage your team, and your team's helpless. So I think the two main things here that we need to really focus on here is getting off main. Get off main. Force them to deal with you safely. Get off the main angle and try and think a little bit more with your blades. Like try and be aware of where their team is before you go in. I'm pretty sure the last fight is just it's nothing. But if you skip to every single fight in this game, you're gonna see you're just main every fight. You need to get off on the angle. Force them to deal with you. You're kind of like playing Genji as Reaper, right? You can't play the Reaper angles. You don't do enough damage to play like Reaper. So get off main. Think a little bit more with your ultimate, because as much as everyone shits on Genji ult, it's actually not a bad ult. It's not as bad as people think. You can make use of it and turn fights with it.